Good day everyone, I am Jovit G. Paglinawan, and for this video, let's talk about operation management, operations and the engineer manager and transformation process.
Operation management. Operations is an activity that needs to be managed by competent persons. Operation management must be performed in coordination with the other functions like those for marketing and finance. Although the specific activities of the operations divisions of firms slightly differ from one another, the basic function remains the same. Example, to produce products or services. Aldag and Stearns accurately define operations management as the process of planning, organizing, and controlling operations to reach objectives efficiently and effectively. As the terms planning and organizing and controlling have already been discussed in the previous section, elaboration of terms efficiency and effectiveness will be made. Efficiency is related to the cost of doing something or the resource utilization involved. When a person performs a job at a lesser cost than when another performs the same job, he is more efficient than the other person. Effectiveness refers to goal accomplishment. When one is able to reach his objectives, say produce 10,000 units in 1 month, he is said to be effective. Operations management is the administration of business practices to create the highest level of efficiency possible within an organization. It is concerned with converting materials and labors into goods and services as efficiently as possible to maximize the profit of an organization. Operations management teams attempt to balance cost with revenue to achieve the highest net operating profit possible. Operations management entails studying the use of raw materials and ensuring minimal waste occurs. Operations managers utilize numerous formulas, such as the economic order quantity formula, to determine when and how large of an inventory order to process and how much inventory to hold on hand. Operations management techniques are used during each stage of production to increase efficiency, quality, and responsiveness to customers in order to give the organization a competitive advantage. Production system. Input stage, raw materials, component, parts, and labor. Conversion stage, skill, machines, computers. Output stage, goods and services. Operations and the engineer manager. The engineer manager is expected to produce some output at whatever management level he is. If he is assigned as the manufacturing engineer, his function is to determine and define the equipment, tools, and processes required to convert the design of the desired product into reality in an efficient manner. The engineer as operations manager must find ways to contribute to the production of quality goods and services and the reduction of costs in his department. The typical operations manager is one of several years of experience in the operations division and possesses an academic background in engineering. The engineer in charge of operations in construction firm is responsible for the actual construction of whatever bridge or road this company has agreed to put up. He is required to do it using the least expensive and easier method. This role will have primary responsibility for leading the day-to-day engineering and manufacturing activities. Some of the key responsibilities will be to manage the personnel, physical facility, and budget resources to produce the highest quality product to meet customer demand. This individual report to the business unit manager and will be member of the management team. The responsibilities of engineer management are as follows: bring strong leadership and organization to the engineering and operations team, daily coaching and motivation, Deploy team resources to meet production and customer demands. Mentor, develop, and help team members grow. Oversee production and quality control. Oversee the engineering and operational aspects of the innovation process. Facilitate new product introductions and engineering changes, ensuring seamless communication between engineering and operations. Interface with supplier and customers. Lead strategic sourcing efforts. Improve work processes. Seek to improve safety and quality and reduce cost. Lead the air management safety team and maintain a safe and clean work environment. Transformation process. A transformation process is any activity or a group of activities that takes one or more inputs, transforms, and add values to them, and provides output for customers or clients. For example, a hospital transforms ill patients, which is the input, into healthy patients, which is the output. Types of transformation process. The engineer manager must have some knowledge of various types of transformation process. They are as follows: manufacturing processes and service processes. Manufacturing processes are the steps through which raw materials are transformed into a final product. The manufacturing processes begins with the product design and materials specification from which product is made. Job shop. A job shop typically handles small orders for a wide variety of products, each of which may require a setup. The key managerial challenge is to finish production on time to meet delivery dates. This involves assigning jobs to people and/or machines to improve resource utilization, scheduling the sequence of tasks to minimize the delays in product flow, controlling the progress of orders as they are being worked on, expediting the late and critical orders, revising the schedule in the light of changes in order status. A job shop is a small company or business that makes a specific product for one customer at a time. It is manufacturing unit that specialize in small quantities or tailor-made or custom-built parts. The unit makes each product according to the customer's specification. This type of business only produce specific goods when it's received an order for them. Batch flow. The batch flow process is where lots of generally owned designed products are manufactured. It involves the processing of bulk materials in group through each step of process. Processing of subsequent batches must wait until the current is finished. Perhaps the most definite advantage of batch product is the lower initial setup cost. It is considered easier and cheap to implement a holistic system of batch processing equipment. Batch processing also allows you to set up each process uniquely to adapt to the materials you're working with. It is further characterized by the following. Number 1. There is flexibility to produce either low or high volumes. Number 2. Not all procedures are performed on all products. Number 3. The type of equipment used is mostly for general purposes. Number 4. The process layout is used. Number 5. The operation is labor intensive, although there is less machine idleness. Number 6. The size of the operation is generally medium size. Examples of factories using the large batch flow: a winery, scrap metal reduction plant, and road repair contractors. Worker pace line flow. In a worker pace line flow, workers themselves typically move products or components from one task to the next. Thus, the rate of product flow is paced by workers themselves. Many worker pace lines are batch processes. That is, they produce not just one product at a time but multiples of the same product. A manufacturing cell is also a workpiece line focused on an often narrow set of products. In it, products are not made in batches but instead are passed one at a time from worker to worker. Worker pace assembly line refers to a production layout arranged in a sequence to accommodate the processing of large volumes of standardizing products or services. The quality and quantity of output in a worker pace assembly line depends to a great extent to the skill of the labor utilized. Example of worker pace assembly lines are food marts like McDonald's and Shakey's. The worker pace assembly lines is characterized by the following. Number 1, the product manufactured are mostly standardized. Number 2, there is a clean process pattern. Number 3, specialized equipment is used. 4, the size of the operation is variable. 5, the process is work pace. And 6, the type of layout used is line flow. Machine pace line flow. When a product family is stable and narrow enough that tasks vary insignificantly between one product and another, additional efficiency may be gained by using a machine pace line, also called a conveyor pace line. Products is moved from one task to the next by a conveyor or other mechanism, and product flow is thereby paced by speed of conveyors. Work is broken into short, repetitive tasks that can be performed by workers with little training. The speed of the conveyor is then set by the bottleneck task. This type of production process produces mostly standard products with machine playing a significant role. Among its other features are as follow. Number 1, the process is of a clear, rigid pattern. Number 2, a specialized type of equipment is used. Number 3, the line flow layout is used. Number 4, capital equipment is bigger cost item than labor. Number 5, the operation is large. And number 6, the process is machine pace. Example of machine pace assembly line are automobile manufacturers like General Motors and Ford Motors. Batch continuous flow hybrid. This method of processing is a combination of the batch and the continuous flow. Two distinct layouts are used, one for batch and one for the continuous flow. The typical size of the operation is also very large, giving opportunities for economies of scale. Examples of companies using the batch continuous flow hybrid are breweries, gelatin producers, and tobacco manufacturers. Continuous flow. Often only one standardized product, typically in very high volume, is produced. Product is not something that flows in discrete unit, such as a laptop. It is something that flows continuously. Typically high capital intensive, using technology that has been designed to produce one standardized product and nothing else. Output is denoted not in numbers of units but in pounds or tons or liters or barrels. The continuous flow processing is characterized by the rapid rate at which items move through the system. This processing method is very appropriate for producing highly standardized products like calculators, typewriters, automobiles, televisions, cellular phones, and etc. Its other characteristics are as follow. Number 1, there is an economy of scale in production, result in a low per unit cost of production. Number 2, the process is clear and very rigid. Number 3, specialized equipment is used. 4, the line flow layout is used. Number 5, operations are highly capital intensive. 6, the size of operations is very large. And 7, processing is fast. Next type of transformation process is service processes. We can define the service processes as the way in which a company works so that a customer receives services. To standardize this in line with the company's identity and aims, manager will work on determining procedures which contribute to the process, allocating tasks and responsibilities. Service factory. A service factory offers a limited mix of services which result in some economies of scale in operations. This also affords the company to compete in terms of price and speed of producing the service. It represents the idea that the factory can be a source of customer service in addition to a place where products are manufactured. Since those who make products are often more knowledgeable about them than those in field service, it stands to reason that they can contribute sales and marketing efforts. The process layout preferred by the service factory is rigid pattern of line flow processing. McDonald's and Shakey's are also example of service factories. Service shop, an organizational unit which provides a specific service or product, or a group of services and products to users principally within the Stanford academic and administrative community. Policies and practice described in this manual apply specifically and solely to service centers. A service shop provides a diverse mix of services. The layout are used those for job shops or fixed position and are adaptable to various requirements. Service shops abound throughout the Philippines. Example are Servitec and Megashell. Among the services provided by this shop are car engine tune-up, wheel balancing, wheel alignment, change oil, and etc. Mass service. A mass service company provides services to a large number of people simultaneously. A unique processing method is therefore necessary to satisfy this requirement. To be able to serve many people, mass service companies offered a limited mix of services. It is the advertising or promotion of a product, goods, or services to a wide variety of audiences with the expectation of appealing to as many as possible. The process layout used is typically fixed position where customers move throughout the layout. Professional services. Professional services are occupations in the service sector required special training in the arts or sciences. These are companies that provide specialized services to other firms or individuals. Example of such firms are as follows: engineering or management resulting services which help in improving the plant layout or efficiency of a company. Design services that supply designs for a physical plant, products, and promotion materials. Advertising agencies which help promote a firm products, accounting services, legal services, data processing services, and health services. Professional service firms offer a diverse mix of services. There is a lower utilization of capital equipment compared to the service factory and the service shop. The process pattern used is very loose. The process layout used is identical to the job shop. Professional service firms are oftentimes faced with delivery problems brought about by non-uniform demand.